And thanks for being here. We're really excited for this upcoming season. Obviously, one game under our belt so far, but it's been a wild ride. COVID craziness has taken some different turns for us, and we've just had to be flexible. And we keep telling the team flexibility is key. And for me, I'm not a very flexible person. I'm pretty anal on things, and so COVID has changed a lot. And I think that it's really the bad things that have happened, or the obstacles, I should call them, has made our team stronger, personally, and stronger, physically on the field and just mentally. And, if we've been able to overcome what we've been able to overcome, you think about life, and you can get through anything. So with that being said, we're just very excited. We're continuing to move this program forward, obviously, but we do have still a lot of work to do. We opened up on Friday at Charlotte. We've got a lot of experience returning. We've got 6 returning seniors that are coming back for their 5th year, which is just awesome. They have set the tone for this program and continue to build it. So when their decision was to come back, it was pure ecstatic from really from all of them. And then myself, I was pleasantly surprised, because I figured some would just, hey, you know what, we're moving on. It was unfortunate that it ended the way it did, but when they said nope, we're coming back, and there was, most of them said didn't even care about the money, because that was up in the air about whether administration would pay for them to come back or not. And they said it didn't matter. It was an easy decision. So we're really excited about our experience returning with, obviously other returners. And we've got, a great freshman class, some great players, and, there's a lot to look forward to, especially with a tough conference, but we're just excited to be back on the field. We haven't been back in the field in almost a year. And, just not being able to play outside competition in the fall, I feel, hurt us a little bit, but also we got to scrimmage each other. And, so when we got out there on Friday, at Charlotte, it was really exciting. And, the first inning, we came out, and exploded, and it was great. Obviously, we've got to fight to the finish. We didn't do that. And we know that. We went over the past couple of days in practice. We've gone over what we needed to, change and, fix, and they're all fixable mistakes. So I think, that moving forward, because the team is so gritty and very coachable, that it's, we've got to make these adjustments to move forward, especially going into conference play come March, since we do play in such a tough conference. But we're just thrilled to be able to have this opportunity, and thankful for the opportunity to be able to, come back and play another season. I know some seasons have been cut in different sports and different, different seasons out there, but we're fortunate. So looking forward to, playing again in Charlotte tomorrow, and then, again in Greensboro this weekend.
All right. Thanks, Coach. And I see Ben Brady is joining us now. Ben, if you have questions, please enter the chat. We'll get to you. We'll start off with David Rogers.
Hey, Sean. I want to ask one of the same questions I asked of Kermit with regard to the challenges to your recruiting process and so forth, but specifically in looking at your roster, and I don't know whether these are super freshmen and super sophomores or not, where they're coming back from a freshman year that were last year, but you can explain that. But you've got, geographically, you've got somebody from my home state of California and then Wisconsin and Illinois. Talk about those particular instances where what went into the recruiting there. How'd you land those players, and what was it that brought them here?
Right. With our recruiting, we've got to find the right fit for our staff, the right fit for our program, the right fit for, App State, obviously playing in the cold, playing, in the mountains. And for us, it goes back to trusting different travel ball coaches of, what we like, and what we go back to similar coaches year in and year out to say, we know they produce good players. So we continue to go back to them. For us, it's, not specifically anywhere. It's, again, the right fit. So again, if we see someone in California, and I love my California kids, usually we have a couple on the roster everywhere I've been. So I think that's important. They play the game year round. And I think that's important. They're usually good students of the game. So that's pretty neat to see. But we also have, again, players from, Wisconsin was, just camps, coming to our camps, going out to different, Midwest, watching games in Florida. The softball community and travel ball goes all over. And so we get to see a lot of different players from different states, in different tournaments. Colorado has a huge tournament, so there's every state's represented. So I think that's important to make sure, again, we're getting the right fit from the right area. But again, this class of 2020 really took a chance on us and our staff. When we were recruiting them, we were at the bottom of the conference. And so they believed in what we were trying to accomplish. And so after they were committed, most of them have been committed for a couple of years. So after they were committed, that second year we were here, was the turnaround year for us. And they had already committed. They committed to really to nothing, just to what they wanted to build for our program. And so I love that about them. So again, with the recruiting, to me, it's the right fit. It has to be, and they have to buy into what we want. There's some non-negotiables, and, I'm excited for the future of this program.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go next to Jason Savage from WHKY in Hickory.
Coach, you alluded to your game back on Friday against Charlotte, and here you were supposed to play yesterday and obviously got rained out. Did you kind of feel like this was almost kind of an omen, maybe not necessarily a bad one, but you've already dealt with all this COVID stuff, and here you're already starting off with rain delays and postponed games and stuff like that?
I think this is going to be the norm for this season. They said 2020 was crazy. I'm not sure 2021 has started off any better. So, we, again, flexibility, and we've just kind of have to go with it. And again, it's probably a daily conversation with the team, not liking it, but it is what it is. And the opportunity to be able to go out and play. And if it's, even on Friday, we weren't supposed to play on Friday. Mm-hmm. They called and said, hey, can you get out of class? And obviously we worked out, we didn't even have classes. So we moved it later. And we just were able to make it happen. And so I think that's going to be, again, coaches, I think that's another opportunity. Coaches working together, through this COVID, again, having to go through so many obstacles of making sure, hey, can we get COVID tested on this time? Can we, do we have classes? Can we get a bus? All those things that go into changing games. But I do think this will be the norm. I'm not sure the weather is going to, who knows what the weather's going to be, but we've got to just be flexible and make sure that, we're ready to play at any point in time, because we want to play. We want to play games. So any amount of games we can play is just going to continue to make us better. And we need to play. We need to play outside competition, continually playing our own team and seeing our own pitchers. That's great. But, you want both sides to do well. You want our pitchers to do well, but we want our hitters to do well. And so it kind of, that's tough when we're continuing to inter squad. So seeing that outside competition is going to be huge for us. And it really was on Friday. It was just whatever may be, we just have to go back and look at what we need to do better. And that's what we got to keep doing. And again, just to move this program forward, we are not where we want to be. So we've got to make sure that, we are being students of the game and learning. There's always teachable moments. And so mistakes aren't always a bad thing, obviously, when they cost you, but you still got to learn from them. And teachable moments are very important, especially when you're rebuilding or moving a program forward.
You had mentioned about the seniors in particular on the squad. You've got so many that are returning, the super seniors, as we're calling them. Obviously, everybody's in the same boat in regards to COVID and how everybody's handling and dealing with it. But because you've got such a core group that's returned, plus some of those newcomers, how well have they meshed out together early on?
I think it's taken a little bit of time, honestly. Our program is built on family, and we do a lot of team bonding, team building. And with COVID, we hadn't really been able to do a lot of that. So I think it has taken a little bit of time, but since we came back in January, I feel we've gotten a lot more cohesive on the field. We have a large roster. And obviously with COVID, with the 6 returning seniors, plus we have 11 freshmen and the other returners, it's been, for me, competition breeds success. There's a lot of competition. So even though those seniors have made an impact, they've got to earn it every day. And I think that's going to be critical moving the program forward of, the competition. I foresee a lot of people moving, in and out of the lineup. It's really going to come down to our hitting. And so we have some great defense. We played some great defense. We do have strong pitching. And again, I'm going to go back at, all of those kind of broke down on Friday altogether, but I still feel that's what our strengths are. We've got Kenzie Longenecker and Sydney Holland returning, as pitchers. So, they're two of the top pitchers in the conference. And so I think, since January, to go back to your first question, it was just the cohesiveness is coming. The cohesiveness will continue to come once we, continue to play more games and be able to see what those strengths and weaknesses really are for us.
Thank you, Coach. Have a good season.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, now we'll go next to Benjamin and Brady from the Appalachian, if you have any.
Hey, Coach, just one question from me. You talked about all of those returning seniors. What kind of impact does that experience, all those returning players, have on the team's overall morale heading into the rest of the season?
It's amazing. They have been the rock of this program, and I just know how thankful they really are for another opportunity, having no regrets, coming back, because again, it was such an easy decision, for the majority to return, just being able to have that, extra year. And so there's a lot of things that they do behind the scenes that I don't have to worry about, because they have been with me basically for, 3 or 4 years. So, just being able to, kind of go and coach, and they do the little things of the teaching things of, what the expectations are of the program, from even traveling to, just how practice runs and those kind of things, and, laundry and uniforms and, bus rides. And so I think those things, really don't go unnoticed. And I appreciate those things, because it just makes it simpler for myself as head coach and our staff to really have that experience of, they know the expectation of what and how I want it done. And so I think by having that experience come back, it's been a good transition with those 11 freshmen. 11 freshmen, that's a big class, so I think they have been able to really, in fact, I asked a couple of weeks ago to the team, who's made an impact or who on you, and who do you make an impact on? And it's interesting to hear those different answers, because there's a lot of freshmen that say the seniors, but then there's also the seniors that say, hey, there's some freshmen that have made an impact. So I think that's neat to see. So I feel that we're doing things the right way, because it doesn't matter in our program whether you're a freshman or a senior, you've got to earn a spot day in and day out. And they know it's for the betterment of the team. We have a saying, all in, and we win and we lose as a team. It's on the team. It's on us as a whole. So I think they've really embraced that. And this specific senior class has really, really taken to that, because, what they had when we got here, it's not what it is now. And I feel that they are very, very appreciative of that. And I love them for that. So I'm very thankful that they did decide to return and, be able to have another year with us.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Coach, maybe I'll throw one or two your way, and then we'll move it on to the players. Of just, as you're in your 4th year, developing and growing a program, what are maybe some of the bigger picture things that have impressed you, or feel like you've seen this, the progress you'd like on that, maybe don't happen immediately, but as you're here in year 4, that kind of stand out to you, that kind of show you it's going in the right direction?
I really feel that I can tell when we come to practice that I think that's the biggest thing at practice. They want to be there. They want to learn. There's questions. And when I first got here, I look back and it was, do I want to be at practice? Do I not? I don't know. I don't know if this is where I'm supposed to be. And so I see that difference of them just wanting to embrace the learning part of it, and, the knowledge of the game. I think that's been really critical for us. But I do see a difference in their work ethic. And that's a non-negotiable in our program, the work ethic and blue collar mentality. And so I see that. I don't just see it from a handful. I see it now from everybody. And so it trickles down, and I'll give an example of Gabby Burato, a senior that, I remember talking to her and coming in, her attitude was just kind of, oh, well, that was a bad day. It was kind of negative. That has flipped the script. And now obviously she's a starter. She's earned that time. And, just being able to, talk to her about what the mistakes were and accepting those mistakes and not just, well, I'm not very good. And that's the difference in our program too, is the confidence level. Confidence is key, especially in a game of failure. So the difference I see in the confidence, the work ethic it's on a whole, it's not just a couple. And I think you need everybody in the program to be on the same page in order to be successful.
I guess just last one for me, you've got Gabby and Sydney here. From seniors and leadership, what kind of stands out about those two players? Sydney Russell is just a workhorse. She does it very quietly. She's not a loud leader, but from day one, she has worked extremely hard in every aspect of her game, including the weight room, including conditioning. And, that was awesome to see coming in, because I didn't know obviously any of these players, coming in. And so to see her work ethic and just other people follow that's awesome to see. And, she's continued to get better, and just the little things, because she's really coachable. And that has been another great aspect of our program, is the coachability, because if you don't want to be coached, then why are you here? And with these two seniors that are here with us, Sid and, Gabby, they have learned to embrace the hard times, which has made them both better players, but also better people. They're great people, off the field, and they've just, really made an impact on me as well as the rest of the seniors. And that's why I'm so excited for them to be able to come out and play this last year here. Coach, I think that's all we have for you. We appreciate your time. We'll move on. We'll get Gabby Burato up here next.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for having me.
All right, we're welcomed by senior outfielder Gabby Burato from nearby Valdez, or not too far down the road. Batted .339 last year. If you have questions for Gabby, if you want to enter in the chat that you'd like to ask her a question, and we can just start off. Gabby, I know you have one game under your belt, which is what's it like to be back playing another season and being in the thick of that?
I think it's amazing. We didn't know if we were going to get this extra year or not. And I'm just so grateful and thankful that Coach Horner and Doug and everybody in the administration gave the seniors an extra year. As Coach Horner said, it's been almost a year since we've been on the field. And the other day, just getting back on the field with my teammates was such an amazing experience, because, it's been so long, and we're just grateful to be back on the field and get the season rolling.
We'll start off with David Rogers. If you have a question, we'll go to you.
Yeah, I'll ask you the same thing I was asking Robbie earlier. You don't have a lot of gray hair like me, so you must be probably in your mid-20s. Talk about the considerations that you made in terms of coming back again, the things that you had to juggle, or yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So honestly, it was a really easy decision for me. When Coach Horner told us that, go home and think about it and talk with your parents, I went to my parents and I was basically like, I want to come back. Like, I was already taking a year off of school anyways before I went into grad school. So I already had a year of just going back home and settling in. So I just decided I wanted to come back. Getting this season taken away from me was kind of hard, and I knew that I wanted to come back for this program and finish what we started 4 years ago. And I knew it was an easy decision for me. I didn't really have to juggle anything, honestly. It was, yes, I'm coming back. And I was very thankful that Coach Horner and Doug and them gave us an extra year.
Great, thank you.
We'll go next to Jason Savage from WHKY in Hickory.
Gabby, talk to us a little bit about your feelings towards the end of last year and that season that was cut short. Obviously, you were having a phenomenal start to the season. Just kind of explain some of those emotions that you felt when everything kind of came to a crashing halt.
We were in the hotel in Louisiana, and I was in the room with my 3 best friends, Sydney Russell, Kinsey Longenecker, and Carrie White. And all I could remember was crying my eyes out because, our team had worked so hard for a season to just get cut short. And, we had so many possibilities to go through. And the fact that it just all of a sudden just came to a stop was very shocking. I think just tears basically was coming out. I mean, you didn't know what was going to happen. Nobody knew what the virus was going to do, where it was going to take us. So we didn't know if we were going to get that extra year or not. So I think just the unknown was kind of scary, and we didn't know what to expect next. But I just remember being in that room and us 4 just being with each other and just saying, no matter what, we're going to be here for each other. And, whatever decision is happening, we will be there and everything will be okay. And, God has a plan and you just have to trust in it.
Which goes right in line with what you were just saying about how easy of a decision it was for you to come back.
Yes, it was a very easy decision for me. When Coach Horner asked me, I was like, yes, I want to come back if you will let me. And everything worked out. Like I said, God always has a plan and you just have to trust in it.
Thank you, Gabby.
Ben, you got anything?
Yeah, I've got one question. I already asked Coach about what experience has on impact on the team. What is the role you think you can take on for this team as an experienced senior leader?
I think that as a senior, I would be a leader. I'm a leader on and off the field. I feel like I help the team out with the little things, knowing our roles. I think a big thing is on our team that you have to know your role, and our role for seniors, for everybody, is leader. So I think on the field, helping out the outfield, since I do have that experience, just helping us out, with shifts and stuff. Our lefty hitters, because I am a left-handed hitter. So we kind of help each other out with slapping and whatnot. And then off the field, I kind of just try to be there for everybody that doesn't know what our program expects sometimes. So like Coach Horner said, the laundry, or, our lockers need to be clean, or picking up after practice, setting up for practice and stuff like that. Kind of just helping, everybody settle in as a team and help the coaches take some load off their back. So that way they don't have to really worry about the little things. I think I kind of help out with that. So.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Gabby, I'll throw one your way and then we'll get Sydney in here. Coach Horner talked about the dynamic of, some of the freshmen talking about what they were able to get out of the seniors, and then seniors picking up things from the freshmen. Can you just shed some light on that dynamic of, more larger roster with more years spanning, of how you guys have been able to interact and, teach each other different things?
Yeah, I actually was just telling Coach Horner the other day, because she asked me the question, who made an impact on me? And I told her, I was like, I feel like so many people on our team have made an impact on me. I told her Shelby Tucker, me and her were talking about hitting slumps and, how to have the confidence in yourself to get out of those, or have the confidence and still believe that you can get stuff done. And I told her Emma Jones has been making an impact on me, because Emma just makes me want to get better every single day and not settle. I see Emma doing extra all the time, and she makes me want to get in there and do extra. And then, Kinsey, Sydney, and Carrie, they make sure that I believe in myself no matter what, on and off the field. And I think, just having that as a team, I feel like we are more together. And if you can count on one person, you can count on the other person. And I think that's just a big thing of our team this year, is you have to be able to count on your teammates. And I think we've done a really good job with that, of everybody has each other's back. So if, you're not having a good day, somebody else is going to have a great day for you, and you can help out other people. Or if you're having a great day and they're not, you can pick them up. And I think that's a big thing this year, is that we have, helped each other out and been supportive of each other, even if we're not starting, or if we're on the field or not, we're picking up little things that other people aren't. And I think that's going to help us a lot.
Well, thank you, Gabby. I think that's all for you, and we'll get Sydney Russell in next.
Thank you.
Hello.
Last but not least, we have a senior infielder, Sydney Russell from Lincolnton, North Carolina. If you have questions for her, I'll go through the list like I did with Gabby. But Sydney, if you just want to start off of just kind of sharing your thoughts on what it's been like to get back to playing after the way last season ended, and you guys have already played the game and you're kind of in the thick of the season, what that's like for you.
Okay, well, I think this year is just like a blessing. Having the season taken away from us was very tragic. And to myself, like having the game on Friday, like I didn't believe it until I was on the field. It's just something that it's just so overwhelming when it was taken from us, and then being away from a year. I just felt tons of emotions that day.
All right, Sydney, we'll start off with David Rogers. David, you might be muted.
No, I don't have anything right now. I'm on another call.
Okay. Ben, do you want to fire away?
Yeah, sorry. I asked Coach about this too. What do you think the experience has in terms of the impact on the team, and what kind of role do you think you can take on as an experienced player in terms of helping out the new players?
I think the role I have is just helping those incoming freshmen, like Emma Jones playing second. At first, she was like having a couple, letting her mind get to her when she made mistakes. And in this game, our coaches say that there's always going to be mistakes and you have to learn from them. So I think with her is understanding that if you make a mistake, your teammates are going to have your back, and no matter what, just believe in yourself.
Thanks.
All right, we'll go to Jason Savage from WHKY in Hickory.
You had mentioned that you didn't really believe it until you were actually out on the field Friday against Charlotte. At what point did that really kind of come through? Was it, taking the warm-ups on somebody else's field? Was it, national anthem type? At what moment did it just kind of go, oh my gosh, we're doing this again?
I think the moment was definitely when the game started, when we were about to hit, the energy when we start to play, and at bat, the cheers and everyone yelling and like the excitement. I think that is what really hit me then.
Talking about, fans and everything, obviously there's going to be, none, lack thereof, whatever the case might be. How does, correct me if I'm wrong, you weren't able to play at home at all last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So tell me a little bit. I mean, is that really even going to bother you if there's really, I don't want to say nobody there, because, it's not like we got a chance to watch you at home last year anyhow.
Yeah, I think it's definitely hard. In the stands, you have your supporters, your family, your friends. But at the end of the day, the job is to compete with the team. So we're going to get the job done, play no matter what. It's not going to affect how we play, but it's a bummer that we won't have any fans.
You can at least be assured that there'll be a lot of people screaming at their computer screen. So you got that going for you.
Yes, hopefully some texts and calls after, but yes.
There you go. Thanks. Good luck this season.
Thank you.
Sydney, I'll wrap up with one or two on my end too, of just being, one of the seniors. How do you kind of view your role as a leader, especially with a roster that is a little bit expanded more than, and you guys have gone through different things than a lot of teams. How do you kind of approach leadership with this team?
Like Coach Warner said, I'm more of a quiet leader. I think one part that's impacted me, or I've impacted others, is I was injured my sophomore year, a whole year. So I technically had a year taken from me. And I've definitely talked to some of the injured people on our team and how you can feel out of the light and not part of the team, and just telling them that they are important, and that doesn't mean that they're not a part of the team or something. It's just being injured is very hard. So I think having communication with an upperclassman like that definitely helps their confidence and everything.